I hereby declare this man and this woman husband and wife in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. You may now do the obvious.
My name is Soila. I'm a content creator. I'm in the marketing department, do a lot of digital marketing. I'm a wife and a mom to 2 wonderful children.
Curtis is my name. Husband, father, educator. Exactly in that order. We do a lot of things together. We create content. We like speaking to young people. We are advocates for good working marriages, and that's why we are here to share our beautiful love story. We've been married we are now since 2016. So we have been married for 6 years, 7 years, depending on who you ask. But somewhere along that range, yeah. So there are 2 versions to this story. Mine is always the accurate one. Yeah, so we met back in campus. I was just coming out. In other words, it was my final year.
Yeah.
Soila was the first year, and we met at a concert, and that's when I met her first. She had been checking me out for some time, though that's not how she'll put it. But all evidence plus sources say that she had been checking me out. But we met officially at a concert. That's the first time we spoke, and as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
What's your version?
My version is I saw him actually before he saw me.
Exactly.
And that's
No, you didn't see me. You were checking me out.
I didn't check you. I just saw you. But he loves to be told I was checking him out. So I saw him before he saw me. That was in campus. So we met in campus. I was a first year. He was a 4th year. Proper gold rush scenario. And then from there we met at a concert where we had a conversation, and then we became friends and then just grew our friendship from there. Before now officially saying we are girlfriend and boyfriend. So first of all, it was we were doing they were doing a school project. As freshers, we were called to be extras. They were doing a wedding. They were filming a wedding thing for a unit in communication?
Yeah.
Yes. So he was one of the groomsmen walking down the aisle, and then some of us were just collected as freshers. We need extras in this wedding. You are the audience. So Soila was there after lunch to go and just be an extra. And then I saw a man walking down the aisle. I think I loved his hair. It was big and raggedy. For sure, I don't know. I already knew that he's way ahead of me in as far as years in education. So I never saw like any, relationship coming out of it. And I was like, where can we ever meet? Surely you're a 4th year. Assuming you're a 4th year, I'm a 1st year. I'm not even interested somehow, but I think you're just an interesting man to look at. That was it.
Am I still?
Surely. Yes, he is.
It's good to know
To
these
know.
things. I made the first move. During the concert, I remember there's a gospel musician who had come, so he was on the stage. So, and you know how concerts people tend to crowd. So as people were crowding, she was trying to see what's happening at the stage, but she couldn't because people were just so many. So I saw her and I was like, this girl is here. She looks so helpless. Maybe I can come and save the day,
Yes.
So I came and I was like, I can see you're trying to go ahead. Can I help? And she was like, yeah, it would be good to go ahead. So every time people would jump, we would push in. People would jump again, we would push in. We did that until we got to the rails. Wow. And I was like, at least I'm sure I've scored some points on that one.
You did.
And we just started talking. I think half of the concert, we were not even focusing on the concert anymore. We just were really enjoying the conversation. Yeah. I asked her if she wants to go get a sandwich. She was really hungry, but I don't know. There's that thing about
no
maintaining your pride the first time. So I could tell she was hungry, but she had to prove that she does not need anything from a man. So that's how it went.
Oh, wow. I think the interesting part of this conversation or that meeting time was if he was a stranger that I hadn't noticed, I wouldn't have gone to him. But because I saw, and then it was different universities. I'm like, now I feel alone. No one else is from this university. I can't see my fellow college mates. So when he called me, I was like, oh, finally, someone familiar. And that's why it was just easy for me to spark a conversation with him and just go hang out with him during the concerts.
Yeah, so who declared the love first? When we met, it was obvious that we really liked each other. It was obvious that this is more than just a friendship that is brooding. But I remember I was coming from a very complicated relationship, so I was not really looking to get into another one soon. So even when I met her, I was like, hey, I'm really feeling things here, but no, I don't want her to be a rebound. So I was really taking my time deliberately to sort out my issues. Little did I know that she was also coming from the same kind of background. But in about 4 months, 4 or 5 months, one night she sends me a text message, and she's like, you know, if someone else comes through and there are some feelings there, just let me know so that I can jipanga. In other words, she was telling me, Buddha, you know, say something, you know. And that's when I could tell, okay, she's really hinting. Yeah? She wants us to take this thing to the next level. So of course I had to think about it. I didn't want it to be something that I'm doing because I'm feeling rushed. So it was at that time that I asked her out and I was like, I think we can do this thing. What do you think? And without hesitation, she was like, yes. So I think that's the time.
Yeah. It was for me, it was DTF, define the relationship. Where we heading with this, you know? If let's say I get another man who's like interested, yes. Would I say yes or no? Will I be on limbo here? So let's define.
So I was wasting your time.
Not really, but I just
but kinda.
No, I just wanted you to define what you are having.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. So we courted for, first of all, okay, before now I was a girlfriend. We did it for like 3, 4, 5 months. And then he asked me out to be his girlfriend. And then we courted for 4 years, like girlfriend and boyfriend, before now he proposed, will you be my wife? So we were boyfriend and girlfriend for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Wonderful 4 years.
We started with date days first. You know, I was just from campus, broke, tamarking, looking for work. So it's not like I had a lot of money. So our dates looked a lot like going for a mutura joint. It looked like going to Uchumi. Uchumi supermarket at that time had something called Power Sandwich. You know, it was about 180 bob, but it was $1.5 million.
Aga Khan walk.
Aga Khan walk, you know, and even Uchumi Ngong Road. So we'd save money and those would be our dates for a long time. Sometimes when I've gotten some good money, we'd go to Java. Java was like Kempinski for us. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, so with time we just graduated, you know, slowly by slowly, and eventually our date night started becoming a bit more, they say, imeomoka. It was a respectable date night. Because she got employment before me. I started off with self-employment. I was an artist, so doing a lot of things. So she started earning before me. And I think the first respectable date we had was the one at Best Western.
Oh, your birthday.
Yeah, she took me to Best Western. It was really good. She told me to wear a suit. I was like, what's all this suit about? So
it was a surprise birthday dinner.
She was very sad about it. She cried because I didn't know why am I wearing a suit. So it's when we went to Best Western and I was seeing all the executives and I was like, oh, okay, that's what she had in mind. So that was our first proper date night. Yeah.
But I think just to emphasize on how our days were like, with really not so much money, we had to really be in a lot of conversation, like just dreaming of our future, you know, children, work and all that. Marriage, what we think, finances, what we think. And as you said, Aga Khan Walk was our Uchumi place where we'd go get the sandwich, and then he didn't mention that we used to hang out at the Bomb Blast place. Because you know now, since you have something else, you have food, you just can't go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
You have to go somewhere. So we'd go hang out at the Bomb Blast place and eat our sandwich and yogurt, and now just have conversation. And then from there, you'd go home and I'd go home. It was really, it was beautiful.
I would go home, you go back to school.
Yeah, no, home too, and then go to school on Sunday.
I take this opportunity.
The proposal.
The proposal. The proposal was interesting. I schemed that proposal for about 6 months. For those who know me, they know I have 2 left feet. But I had to figure out how to dance for this girl on that day. So the proposal was, it was something we organized at a restaurant. I just went and talked to the manager and I said, I want us to hide something under the swimming pool because I want us to pretend that there's a game going on. So let's hide the ring under the swimming pool, and then I'll pretend that as part of the game, I'm looking for something under the swimming pool. So the game is going on and it's my turn. I'm going under the swimming pool and everybody, we were about a group of 20 people had gone for dinner. Everyone is shocked. How is this guy going into the swimming pool? Because it was about just a handful of people who knew what was going on. So I've gone under the swimming pool, pretending I'm looking for that thing. Then I find it. It was wrapped in a box, so no one could tell what it is. So I come out with it. Soila is very excited. So she's trying to help me unwrap this thing because she's thinking we want some dessert or some type of gift. So we cut it out only for me to finally unwrap it and I give it to her and I'm like, I don't even think I asked. I just pulled it up and everybody lost their mind. You know, she was...
No, it became a flash mob.
It became a flash mob, you know,
It was
because you had a group of people who had to come and now we did the flash mob dance and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was...
He didn't mention...
I just remember you crying.
Who said I cried?
You know, there's evidence. There's evidence on
evidence.
YouTube.
It's
Yes,
true.
yes.
So, he didn't mention that he was wearing a tuxedo. And this game, I know I'm a pitia, but I remember when the lady who was in charge of the dinner said, now for the dessert part, we want you, because it was a couple's dinner, you're going to win something for the first couple who's going to manage to, you know, to get this thing. So it was a competition. We are very competitive people. So we are finding something, and then that's when it was suggested there is something under the pool. It was like a treasure hunt. So the guy with his tuxedo, first of all, I know Curtis is a floater, but not a swimmer. Me, I'm like, okay, the man can drown. So I'm conflicted. Yes, I want to win, but the guy's getting into the water with not the proper clothing for swimming. And with tuxedo and everything, gets into the water and then starts swimming, then gets to this baby pool, and then that's when he removed the ring. I think for me, opening it, I knew for sure it's part of the game until I saw the ring. And from seeing the ring, he didn't ask the question immediately. There's a team of people who came, took me, put me on a seat, and then the ring was taken away, and before I know it, they're dancing. You know, it was a whole flash mob dancing, and I was like, wait, what? You're dancing?
What is going on?
What's going on? Because I never see him. He doesn't, as he said, 2 left feet cannot dance. But he did so well, and now thoughts started coming back. I used to ask him, where are you going on Saturday? No, we're going for Bible study with my friends. I used to go for the
dance rehearsal.
Practice, yes. For 6 months, the guy was practicing for this proposal that I was like, oh, I think it's the effort that really wowed me. I was like, you don't dance, you danced, you know. You got into a pool. I was just trying to think, what's happening here? You know, and then the proposal came. I was really completely overwhelmed with all the emotions, but it was a brilliant proposal. I loved it.
Will you be my wife? I think proposals are interesting because deep down in my heart, I knew
I'll say yes.
you were going to say, but I was still nervous. I was nervous. Yeah. So that was interesting.
I loved it when his mom accepted me, and also for him, he loved it when he came over to my family. He had nyama and experienced a bit of the Maasai culture.
Soila had started giving me these horror stories about how I'll be told to drink blood.
Yeah.
And I'll be spat on.
Yeah.
I do well. With all my worldly goods I thee endow. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Now, my mom is not on Facebook, but somehow, I think there was just a spy who was leaking everything to her. She would know, and I've posted a photo about her on Facebook, and she would be like, and who is this Soila? And I'm like, oh, so you've heard. So I organized for lunch, and one day Soila just came for lunch, you know, dressed like, what do they call that dress? When you're going to meet your in-laws, the dress that is sweeping the floor. So long, covering everywhere. So, so that's how she came home, and she had offered to cook lunch that day for my mom and us. And yeah, my mom my mom is not the kind of person who will speak so quickly. So she took her time to really observe what we are doing, the kind of person that I'm becoming as a result of this relationship. So by the time I was introducing that this is my girlfriend, you know, the first day you don't say this is my girlfriend, you just say this is my friend, even though they know what's going on.
Yeah.
But you just say, you know, this is my friend from campus, you know, we met at Bible study, you know, and but with time, by the time you're announcing, they've already known what's going on, but they're like, okay, fine, now this is good. I think what gave her peace mostly is her knowing that, because I'd mentioned you being a believer, a Christian and all that.
Acceptance.
Yeah, and she was comfortable with that idea. I think that calmed her down.
Yeah. For my parents on the other side, my mom was easy. Remember, I'm still in campus and the guy has finished school. My dad was like concerned because of like, hey, boyfriends, and you're still studying. Concentration is in your academics first. And then we can talk about boyfriend later. But I don't even think I introduced him as my boyfriend to my dad when I was still in campus, but my mom knew. At least one parent knows, you know? And then the mom now can easily tell my dad. I don't know how they'll have that conversation, but at least how she knows and she can tell her husband. But my mom was very accepting of him. Even when he came for introduction and everything, my dad was also very accepting of him, despite the fact that we come from different, you know, cultural backgrounds.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I'm glad that tribalistic things were not brought into the picture.
Yeah.
Being believers, both of us coming from different backgrounds and us being believers, we really didn't consider tribe here. They were really accepting of us. We didn't fight a lot about, oh, no, you don't bring people from that place.
Yeah.
Soila, you have Maasai men around here, you know.
You have Morans.
You have more, yes, where are you going to Western? So it was such a lovely acceptance. For me, I loved it when his mom accepted me, and also for him, he loved it when he came over to my family, had nyama, and experienced a bit of the Maasai culture.
Yeah.
And we were laughing together and accepted. So.
You know, Soila is a very cheeky girl.
Wow.
Soila had started giving me these horror stories about how I'll be told to drink blood.
Yeah.
And I'll be spat on.
Yeah.
And all those things that happen in those kind of cultural events. So in my mind, I was like, this is what, of course, she was playing with me. She knew they don't usually do those things. But I was told how there'll be a group of men who will drink beer. And then as they pass me, they spit on my face. So I was just like, do I really have to go through this? But when the day came, they were very civilized, actually. And I really liked the reception that I was given. I did not feel any kind of resentment or animosity. You wouldn't even tell that I was a different tribe from them because how they treated us. So our process was very easy. I remember even when people from my side were going to negotiate about the dowry, you know, they were not extorted. Like I hear some stories of people who are being asked, I don't know for how many millions of shillings. They are really, really reasonable. So I honestly would not have any bad report to give as far as that is concerned. Yeah.
That's the report we go with. But honestly, that's true. I think apart from the stress that comes with wedding planning, and here I'm talking about, you know, service providers, negotiating the best quote you can ever get, with family forefront, everything was just smooth. I can't say it was tough. It was just now negotiating when is the wedding date, you know, how many people are coming. I know our battle was deciding on the number of people. We're like, parents, we have this budget, this is what we can afford. Parents are like, no, auntie one, uncle, wakina lazima kuje yare. I'm like, hey,
the whole village.
How do we go about this? I remember that was one of our main tough hurdle to go through during wedding planning, because parents want people, you have a certain budget.
Yeah.
So I remember what we had to do. We had to do an invites only.
Yeah.
And we did not, as we invited our friends, but for family members, we gave our parents the invite cards. Yeah. It's them to invite their friends.
Here are 50 tickets,
Oh, so it was
50 invitation cards.
Yeah.
Decide who will come.
Who will come. So the burden is not on us. It's their friends who will come for them and not us. So, yeah.
But I also think something that really helped is, because your family is much bigger than mine, extended family, like uncles and all that. So what we did for them is we did the pre-wedding in Narok. So the pre-wedding sorted out the people from Narok
Yeah.
who are not going to be able to come to Nairobi. So when the wedding happened, they didn't feel like, oh, we were never involved. You know, they had already had their bit. So I think that
Yeah.
that was a smart move. Yeah.
My expectation as a young girl going to marriage is bliss. Honestly, I thought now me I'm on cloud 9. I'm going to be on cloud 9. Things are going to work as is. You know, from here, it's the next thing is nunua shamba, buy a car, you know, a loving husband, a wonderful family. I think it's what movies have sold to us. And surely, sometimes when you see at how your parents relate to the house has some influence on you. But you know, you want to dream bigger than what you've seen at home. And me, I was dreaming bigger about my own now marriage, from being a young girl now to being a wife. I have my own dreams of how I want to live, you know, how I want my husband to treat me, how I want my home to look like, you know, this and this is what I want to buy, this car, this number of children, this kind of job. I had dreams for sure. And reality checks in when you get married. So I think first shock for me is a lifestyle kind of shock, because I come from a place whereby we are 4 siblings. Curtis is an only child. So how I'm used to doing things in our home is, and then we've never lived together. We were continuing from where we started. He still lived with his mom and then lived by himself. I was with my parents. First week of marriage, mko honeymoon. Second week, bottom mko half honeymoon. Third week, the first month. Second month, reality checks in. I remember our first fight was on tasks in the house. The first war that we ever had was, so today I cooked food. In my family, how we used to do it, today I'm the one to cook, and then my sister will clean the dishes. And then my brother will do breakfast the following morning. So, Curtis has a wife, she's lovely, you know, also he has expectation of what a wife's supposed to do. And I come in, have dinner, make nice dinner, and I'm done. I don't even think I washed the dishes. But now the following day, Curtis leaves work and then he's coming home. And we are sitting, it's 8 p.m. He's like, what's for dinner? And I'm like, what do you mean what's for dinner? But I made dinner yesterday. He's like, wait, what? You know, I am used to sharing tasks. You know, this is expectation in my mind that if I cooked today, it's obvious tomorrow you will cook because of how I was brought up. But now this is a new marriage, new culture, new traditions we have to create for ourselves. Him is like, I have no problem cooking. I just want you to communicate it to me. I wish you alerted me early in advance the whole day. I don't know why men have to think the whole day what they'll have to cook. Like for him, he wanted to be alerted early in advance to know what he's going to make.
Because it's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece.
So that, I remember that was our first fight. Also, how to go about arranging things. I would put couch in a certain way. I'll empty the couch. Curtis will come with his work bag, leave it there, leave the jacket probably there. You know, normal. I'll move it later when I go to the bedroom. Those things for me was like, akikai. So this is it. I thought we'd all agree that the seat should be empty. You know, let's communicate openly. There were culture shocks. That I have to communicate every single thing.
But isn't marriage interesting? Because nowadays, who leaves things on the table?
I pick them.
No. Nowadays, I find your trousers and I'm like, Soila, surely pick this trouser. So it's like we've switched places. So yeah. So you took my bad behaviors, I took yours.
We have become one in character. We have bigger fish to fry than picking trousers. Who is more romantic in this marriage?
Okay, I don't know if I'm more romantic than you, but I know I'm romantic. That one I know.
What does that mean?
I know how to create an environment. I know how to make you blush for days. All right?
Okay.
So I think, and if we think about some of the things I used to do. No, I'm coming there. Some of the things I used to do even before we got married.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what I would do for your birthdays, what I would do for
go
Valentine's and all that. I mean, the proposal story speaks for itself.
Oh, Curtis.
So I know I'm romantic, but whether I'm more romantic than you, I don't. I think it's you who can answer that.
He knows how to pursue. He knows how to pursue me. And I can't really say one is better than the other. I'm a more detailed person.
Yeah.
Curtis is more of an experience planner. You know, I want you to experience this, I've planned for this. But for me, I'm like, okay, where are we going for dinner? What are we going to have? I'm more detailed. What time? But in terms of, and then with Curtis, it's in the small things. He doesn't have to wait for the day that you're going out for dinner. He will easily say, today I'm going to make you chicken wings. And then he'll just goes extra in making chicken wings or making amazing dinner. It's in the small little things for me that has counted much more than the planning of the grandiose, dates, vacations, and all that.
Soila.
Wow.
And this is how she starts her arguments. Silence.
Passive aggressiveness.
So she'll just be silent. Soila, I ask her a question. Soila. Soila, are you coming? So I'll just feel that silence and I'm like, okay, there's something here.
Yeah.
And then I'll just ask a question, a very innocent question, and she will bring up things that happened weeks ago, and I'm like, what does that have to do with juice? I was just asking about juice. But I think as time has gone, you've kind of toned down on fishing. You no longer fish what happened, I don't know how many days ago.
It's because we agreed. Yeah. So this is what used to happen when we argue a lot. Would bring things from weeks. Yeah. Last time, ukufanya hivi, you did pick the plate, It's continuously. If we had that conversation the last time, we forgave each other, we finished it. So we had to get to a place in our relationship where we say, we are not going to be fishing. If the problem is now, I came home late, let's have that conversation. I came home late and I did not communicate. So probably that's, don't start fishing and saying, even last week you also came home late. No.
Yeah. Things for last week are for last week.
I think with us, how we've grown is we have intentionally decided to work things out together. Even if I'm the one who easily likely to start an argument, which is true. I am not going to dispute that. It's because I think women are just emotional beings. Yeah. And if it's not working, for sure we are going to
make an issue.
Make an issue out of juice. Anything will trigger an argument. I remember Curtis used to prank me a lot. He would finish juice in the fridge, take the box, add water, and put it back in the fridge. So me, I'm so happy I'm food, I'm coming to put juice. And then when you taste it, it's just water. I'm like, surely. I remember even arguing about that. He did that a number of times. First I'm like, surely you don't even get it. Second time he did it. Third time we now laugh about it. There are those things you ensure, okay, this is going to be what we need to sit down and discuss it. This one is just, you will never change. You're just going to be a prankster here. You're going to make my life sometimes, you have fun, me going through some things. But we have agreed in how we are going to solve our own disagreements. That's what it's been like. As you said, a lot of intentionality planning, to just ensure that the fire keeps burning.
We keep the fire burning with a lot of intentionality because we have 2 kids now.
Yeah.
And anybody who has children know that children can easily just take your mind out of reality. So by the time you're checking in, you're like, oh, when these things fall apart. So what else we do is that we do a lot of intentional planning, intentional dates, intentional organization, and you're like, hey, Soila, we don't have a lot of time this week, but can we sneak in some 2 hours on Tuesday evening? And we go out for dinner and have a nice meal. Sometimes we even, we just want to watch a movie and feel nice. So you tell the nanny, take these children outside, let them go and bask, So there's a lot of intentionality. When kids are not there, things kind of happen by default. Yeah. You just find yourself together and you have a good time. But now with kids, you really have to plan. Because being parents doesn't mean that now you've stopped being lovers. You've stopped being spouses to each other. So you have to balance your parenting as well as just being each other's partners.
I think the realization that we had when we became parents is how apart we were growing. You know, like first, particularly with our first child. He was born during the COVID period, and yes, we were all at home and all. I think with the second born, that's when we were like back to work, maternity leave, myself. But again, you can just realize how you're growing apart. You no longer know each other. It's like he's no longer interested in how I'm feeling. He's tired from work. You know, I'm so overwhelmed with a newborn and a toddler because I had 2 under 2s. It was just, we had to come back and sit down and say, I feel like I don't know you, you know? What shall we do? And now become intentional. If we don't have the capacity to be going out for dinners, because again, you have children, you have work, tomorrow is work, you know, weekends, you have other responsibilities. If we can't do that, what can we do now with what we have? And that's what he says. It looks like Tuesday evening. We call it, I know you call it dream nights. We just meet as a couple, find out where we are as individuals, and also what we are doing in as far as our businesses and our goals in our workplaces. What are we achieving and what are we not achieving? So that's what it's been like. As you said, a lot of intentionality to just ensure that the fire keeps burning. Because if we have completely focused on the children and forget about ourselves, they will soon leave the nest. And the moment they leave the nest, it will be like, unless we are whole, the children will not be whole. That's how
you'll be good parents but bad spouses
to each other. Yes, that's true.
What annoys me the most?
Choose your words wisely.
I tread carefully.
Tread carefully, please. There's nothing that annoys you about.
No, there has to be something. But it's so hard to.
You're fishing.
I'm fishing.
Yeah.
I'm actually fishing.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I think this annoys me. I know you also have a list, so don't act like wow, but yeah. So when we've gone out, and now you are the nini. What do they call it? You are the wanderlust person here, right? You know all the best restaurants, all the best hotels.
Wow.
So when we go out, we want to have this nice dinner that we've not had in a while. So I'm expecting you to take me to a place which you know has a certain type of food. And then you ask me, what do you want? And I'm like, surely you're the one who has brought me. How will I know what I want?
Exactly.
Decide for us.
Now you see, those are the things that I don't like about you. You don't make decisions when it comes to going. But you want me to make the decision about food?
Yes, because you've been there before. I hardly know half the things on that menu. I can't even pronounce them.
Well, you can. You see
you
nyama, you see fish.
Those are the half. The other half, I don't even know if that's English or it's a...
So what do you want me to do? Now
so I want you, because you've been there,
Kuja
useme, hey babe, I've been here before and this is the hottest selling meal. Take this one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that annoys you about me?
I know it will come after this show, but right now that's the one I can push out. So what annoys you about me?
What annoys me about Curtis? Honestly, yeah. We have really worked on our minds. That we drop off the things that are making us mad about each other. But right now in this season, honestly, sometimes you can be a workaholic. You can do so much work. I think sometimes you can just, I know how you work. What do you call it? Focus. We call it Pomodoro. Pomodoro yako ni all through. Pomodoro is when you cancel.
Deep focus
on work. I know, because you're also doing so many things like your education, your masters and work and all that. So sometimes it's the workaholic that like, oh, can I have my husband back?
It's just for a time.
It's just for a time. It's true. The other thing again is that when you go to a restaurant, indecisiveness, just decide what you want to eat. Honestly, when waiters have a hard time with Soila and Curtis, because they come.
We'll change that menu like 4 times. That order like 4 times.
Until we ask them, what do you suggest?
Letter E. They start walking. Kuja. Hii inakuangaje? Letter E.
It's true. That's
kuja, tutashiba kweli.
So it's both. So it's the both of us. sometimes we're indecisive. Particularly, actually, it's good you've brought it up when you go out for foods. Otherwise, other things for sure. I can't say they make me. I don't hate anything about you for sure. For the ladies, let me talk to the ladies. Please don't make your husband a replica of your father, or don't make your husband a replica of your dream person. You know, as you grow yourself to become the wonderful person you want to be to this partner, work on yourself first and stop, walk that journey of growing together and learning things together and starting your own culture together, whereby it's not picking from his culture and my culture to create one. It's just us, what works for us. Like you see that scenario I shared of food and dishes, we had to agree. That's what I used to do at home. We'd share tasks with my sibling. You are an only child. You do here sometimes, you have help. So instead of trying to copy that, what works for Soila and Curtis? So that's what advice. Figure out what works for the both of you and agree on a culture that is growing the both of you.
For me, I would say be self-aware. Understand why is it that you want the things that you want. So you're planning to get married and you want your wedding to cost 2 million. Why? Why is it that you want that really? Is it justified? You know, you want a spouse who looks like this. Why? Okay? Question your decisions, question your desires, question the things that you want. Be self-aware. Don't ever make a decision if you don't know why you want that thing. You'd rather know and your reasons be bad than not to know at all. Yeah, so question your thoughts, question why you want things. What we discovered with our marriage is that a lot of the conflicts we had were upbringing issues. Not that she's been brought up badly or have been brought up badly, but the differences in our upbringing is what was bringing the conflict. So understand yourself, know where you're coming from, and just be questioning why she did this to me. Why did I feel that way?
I think it's
when she refused to serve me. Yes, when I asked her to bring me a cup of tea and she didn't, I felt this way. Why? You know, so those kind of questions will really take you a long way to know how to handle yourself.
I want to add communicating expectations. One thing that I know also I suffered with is I had expectations of Curtis as a newlywed, but I never communicated them. And then when he's not meeting my expectation, I'd be pissed off at him. So open communication as far as expectation. I expect you to help me in this manner with this particular task. So I openly communicate that to him so that he knows there's a help that is expected. Unlike of me going quiet and being pissed off at him because he didn't meet or help me, and it's not because he doesn't. It was not communicated. So let's just communicate our expectations to each other. I love your intentionality. I love your... Are you hearing my voice shaking?
I'm hearing your heart.
Anyway, I really love your intentionality to take care of us as a family. Your intentionality to guide, like you see, you're the priest of our home. I really like how you carry us in prayer, leading us in the word and all that. I think I appreciate that, and you can still, may God strengthen you to do more of that with every step of life that we move towards. So, yeah.
Eish. Why don't you say these things every day?
We need KTN.
Unaweza kasirika kununulie gari hapa. With money I don't know where it will come from.
Don't rob a bank.
But thank you for that. It means a lot. I love that you are very reliable.
Ooh.
I always know I can count on you. In fact, there are times I get stressed because of the different things that life offers, you know. And one of the things that calms me down is like, I'll go home in the evening and Soila will be there. At least we are together with Soila in this. So I love that. I always feel like I have someone backing me up. I have someone in my corner.
Yes.
And it does a lot. It does a lot.
You don't want to cry a bit?
Me? Yeah. I can try, but I can't guarantee that anything will happen.
That,
ladies and gentlemen,
is
our love story.
I'm a makeup artist and also a visual artist. We deal with brides, we deal with students who want to learn about makeup and anything that entails to makeup, basically. When it comes to the bride, I'd suggest the bride comes 3 to 6 months prior to the big day. And so we have the contract which we send to them so that they can go through that. And then also we suggest 2 months to 1 month before the wedding that you have a bridal trial, because during the bridal trial, our expectation usually is you come with pictures from Pinterest, because every girl wants to get married, and on your big day you already have a vision of what you want to look like. So we'll come up with everything that you've come up with. We can look at the pictures, go through them with you, and it also helps us know your taste in makeup. So, you know, there are different types of brides. There are the ones who want to go extreme, and there are people who want to go to the minimal side and keep a more natural look and simple look. So we highly suggest that you come for a bridal trial. Some of the frequently asked questions by a bride is the punctuality. Definitely, are you going to be there on time? And is it possible for you to spend the night? Apart from that, is also about the products that you use. They have a really big concern about that. When it comes to punctuality, we agree on a set time, because us as makeup artists, you basically know how much time you need on one person. So we go backwards and calculate the time, and just to assure them the punctuality. And when it comes to products, that is why we need a bridal trial. So during the bridal trial, we test it out, and also to just know your skin type and everything regarding the products. So they get to have their answers there and then. So usually it's the first impression of the bride. That's usually something that I look forward to, and also to be a part of someone's, you know, a big chapter, even as they start a new chapter in their life. That is such a beautiful and fulfilling feeling that you get when you see someone walk down the aisle and finally say, I do. For your big day, kindly consider Kish Beauty to be part of your amazing memories and to be part of your new chapter as you start it. Kindly feel free to contact us.
The reason I love coming home is to relax and to have a nice day with my family.